Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick Theriot and welcome back. Wow, I really don't know when this video is being uploaded, but this is the first video I film in this specific setting or session right here that I'm filming since we did the 7-part series, and I just feel exhausted from that, even though I really filmed it in 2 days and 3 days, but just the mental of how well it performed, all that good stuff. But anyway, I wanted to jump into a few new videos that I'm filming today, so let's dive into it. And for today we have why I do not use CBO for testing. And I know there's a lot of controversy around it. Some people love CBO, some people love ABO, but I'm talking about specifically for testing new ads, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I mean by that. So before we get started, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button for new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. With that being said, let's dive into the video, guys. So why I don't use CBO for testing. This is particularly testing new ads and everything. Again, there's a lot of controversy around it. Some people love it, some people hate it, but I'm talking specifically about CBO for testing purposes, and kind of why I have like a dedicated campaign specifically for testing and a dedicated campaign for scaling. So first off, the way I test ads is I have one campaign, and basically inside of this campaign I have a bunch of ad sets. Now these ad sets do not stay on all the time in terms of like all of them are on and that's it. These ad sets are turned on when I launch a new set of ads, and I turn them off when, or I turn off that particular ad set when it becomes unprofitable. So if you look right here, you can see 117C was turned off after $380 spend because it was unprofitable. And again, I'm using triple well to measure that shit. So basically what you see in the ads manager, I really don't even pay attention to anymore in that perspective. So if you look at 117D, obviously on the ads manager side, it looks profitable. It's actually, I think, very break-even-ish on triple well. So long story short, we basically create a new ad set per set of creatives. Now you're like, Nick, whoa, like how can I learn how to do this? I have a 7-part series called How to Run Facebook Ads in 2022, and we specifically cover this in video number 6. It's a 45-minute long video of exactly the way I test ads. Okay, so make sure you check that out if you're wanting to know how exactly I run all this. Now, next thing, what it looks like at a basically ad level is each ad set has 3 to 4 ads. It just kind of depends on that particular batch of ads. Usually it's 3, no more than 4. Sometimes we do 6, but just a low budget, so it's just a lot to go. So that's basically how we run ads. We basically we have one campaign. We never turn this campaign off. We never duplicate it. We use it for all products. We use it for all promo sales, all that good stuff like that, with just one dedicated campaign. And then every ad set is different in some way, different copy, different creatives, different offer, different products, all that good stuff right there. And then there's usually about 3 to 4 ads inside of that ad set, either testing creative, headline, or copy, one of those 3 variables. Now, but Nick, what about CBO? What about CBO? So there's some people out there, and again, this is where it comes down to personal preference. I speak a lot about this, personal preference, and there's some people out there that love to use CBO, and me personally, I've even gone that route at a period of time of my life, or my ads managing career, where I would use CBO. I'd create a second ad set inside of that CBO campaign, put my new creatives in there or my new ads in there, and just let it run. And on paper, it looks really good. I mean, you basically have one campaign, no testing campaign, no nothing like that, just one campaign. You have one ad set inside of it already that you're just putting a lot of money in, and then you create a second ad set inside of it where you basically put new ads against the original or ads that are currently running, and then you basically just like let the Facebook decide what ad works better. Now, with that being said, on paper, it makes sense, like complete sense on paper, like very easy to manage, very easy to deal with, but I've tried it countless times. I mean, if you even go look back, I think I have a video in November in 2020 or 2021 where I even showcase, 2020, I showcase how we use the CBO campaign with dynamic, all that good stuff to even do like a 3x ROAS on like a particular thing. Look, tried it countless times. It makes sense on paper, and I even going to show you a clear example where I recently tried it again. Okay, so this is an example right here where we have our main CBO campaign. This is, again, if you want to know how we run our ad account, go watch the series How to Run Facebook Ads in 2022. goes very detailed, like literally step-by-step detail that's literally people charge thousands for in a course. So we have one dedicated campaign where we put all of our budget to, and we have one ad set inside of it. And inside that ad set, we have all of our winning ads. Now, for this particular test right here, what we did is we have our main ad set, WNL1, USA, male plus female, 22, 65 broad. I duplicated that to make WNL2. Inside of WNL2, I introduced new ads into the account, okay? Now, you're probably looking at this, Nick, well, it's not the ads manager. Well, yes, it's not the ads manager, it's TripleWell, because I took a screenshot from TripleWell. It's just to show off the TripleWell reporting, which you can see right here in blue. I have a video on TripleWell as well. If you're not using TripleWell with Facebook ads, Shopify in 2022, you are making costly mistakes in your account. So you need to go check that out. So check out WNL2, added new creatives. Now you're probably like, also Nick, like, whoa, $239 spend, 1.82 ROAS. It's better than the $7,500 spend on 1.63. And that's actually where you are wrong. Because just because something has a good ROAS and it has a low spin does not basically mean it's like a solid, like I guess you could say, strong performer and everything. And I completely agree with that. And that's also one of the kind of flaws in the way I test ads, but it's also how I use it that makes it an advantage. So we look at WNL3, obviously it just didn't get it really any spin. And then you see WNL4, and WNL4, you'll see it spent $592 with a 0.74 ROAS, okay? Now, that's obviously making us some costly mistakes right there because it almost spent a little under 10% of our budget, okay? Now, granted, hey, 10% of our budget, that's what we kind of do on a 90 to 10 principle, where 90% of our budget goes in our main campaign, but 10% goes in our creative testing campaign. Problem is that 10% of our budget went specifically to this particular test when I normally kind of split it up against a few different tests, that 10% budget. Now, the problem with this is that we saw a huge dip in performance that day when we started spending, a bunch of money in these unproven ads. Now, Facebook just has one particular daily budget, like, hey, $5,000, $1,000, whatever. So let's say, for example, I'm throwing $1,000 a day at this particular campaign. That's a CBO with one ad set. Or in this case, multiple ad sets. And I'm basically just giving Facebook, hey, here's $1,000, spend it how you want. Okay. And on paper, that sounds good because on paper, you're like, okay, cool. Well, Facebook's going to spend it on an ad that likely is going to convert. That's the problem though. CBOs don't particularly work like that. In a perfect world, CBOs, one, is going to spend primarily on where it can spend the most money and get the most volume. It personally doesn't care about ROAS. Third is it focuses more on kind of the user experience as well. So if you have ads in WNL4 with a better user experience than WNL1, it's going to focus on that, even though it's not maybe getting conversions or purchases. Okay. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, cool. So basically WNL4 got a lot of spend because it's got a lot of engagement, but it didn't convert well. And then WNL1 is getting a lot of spend because it's prehistorically performed the best, and that CBO is just familiar with it. So what went wrong in this sense right here? Like, why did Facebook blow a bunch of money on this particular ad set? And again, you can see all the ads in here. You can see the unprofitable ads. What went wrong? Well, again, Facebook prioritizes the user experience, and this particular ad in his group got a ton of engagement in terms of a lot of people were clicking on it. A lot of people were engaging with it, like commenting, reacting into it like that. But the ad was not built to convert people in the perspective of, hey, here's an ad I built. It does a really good job of grabbing attention, but it does a bad job at educating people on the product, a bad job on, really selling people. It does a really good job at grabbing a lot of attention though, and engagement. That's it. So this caused me to spend $400 more than what we would have normally spent on this ad. So this particular account, we have $100 AOV, and after $100 is spent on an ad that's unprofitable, I cut it off. So we spent $573 on this particular ad right here and not $100. So if we spent $100, I would have cut it off at that particular moment. So if we go back to the way I test ads, again, in this particular way is dedicated creative testing campaign, or just testing campaign. I like to call it that because we test more than just creative, like I said. So I'm just calling it testing campaign, dedicated testing campaign. Each ad set has a daily budget where we control the budget. So that way we can tell Facebook, hey, you can only spend $50 on this new concept. That way we limit our potential of something like this happening because, obviously that affects overall performance and is a lot more volatile. Because we have a controlled spend, we don't really have to worry about interrupting our main performing ads. And we also don't have to worry about crazy dips in performance over the weekend. So obviously when we step away from the ads manager, I want to be confident knowing that we have a few $1,000s a day spent on our spending against ads that have been proven to convert and has been working well for us in the past. Okay. Now, if we have crazy dips in performance because of something like this and I'm not around by the computer, like that becomes an issue because we can burn client money quickly. So that's one of the particular reason. And obviously you guys are probably like, well, Nick, why don't you just set rules up? The problem with rules is that if we're using TripleWell to make all of our actions or all of our decisions in the ad account, what happens here is that there's nobody to connect like TripleWell to Facebook Ads Manager. So in this particular scenario right here, like let's say for example, WNL2, 1.4 ROAS or 1.04 ROAS in Facebook, whereas TripleWell is reporting 1.82. So we want to leave that on for this particular, KPIs and goals of this account. So if TripleWell is reporting this and Facebook sees 1, they would cut it off, but it's actually profitable due to TripleWell data. So that's the primary reason why we also don't like it in that perspective right there. And we don't have any worries about crazy performance over the weekend or just in general over the week and stuff like that. I mean, when you're spending large budgets, it's easy. You can launch a new ad in there. You can immediately throw a bunch of budget and boom. We can control the spend better and don't interrupt any main performing ads. And we can do a larger budget or a larger volume of tests if needed. So that's pretty much why we don't use CBO for testing. It's pretty straightforward and stuff like that. And again, we've tried CBO for testing. We've tried it in multiple different ways. We've tried it across multiple different accounts. We've tried it for periods of time too. So it wasn't just like one day and boom. We tried it for, weeks at time, and we always resort back to the way we do it. And that pretty much goes back to I would say my philosophy of how I approach everything when it comes down to marketing and ads and stuff like that is that test everything, test everyone's different strategies, test everyone's different routes and stuff like that, and figure out what works for you, what allows you to stay the most consistent, what allows you to have a good flow, what allows you to have peace of mind, and what allows you to get the best results as well. And have a good balance between all of them. Because, something that might be like back then, I remember people used to be day trading an ad account all day. They would spend 8 hours a day just looking at the ad account, fucking turning things off. And at the time, they could get good results in that particular manner. But that's a poor way of living if every day you're 8 hours every day you're in that account, turning things off, turning things back on, and you're not focusing on the main principles of marketing and all like that good stuff right there. So you need to find a good balance between all of it. Figure out what works for you, and then take all that and run with it, and just take action. So hopefully this provides some value to you guys. Hopefully this helps you guys out with maybe just understanding kind of a little bit of reasoning behind my strategy. And again, if you want to know a full detailed guide on this, I do have a series called I do have a full series and guide that goes over how I run Facebook ads in 2022. So make sure you check that out. And yeah, guys, that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and turn on subscribe notifications. So that way when I upload a new video, you'll never miss a single one. All these videos at the end of the day are designed to help you in your business grow and hit your revenue goals, make you more money at the end of the day. Hit that like button and drop a comment below of your favorite part of this video. Now, if you own a business and you're curious about how we can help your business scale and hit revenue goals at profitability, then click the link below to book a call with me and my team. We'll hop on a call together, learn a little bit more about your business. And if we think you'll be a good fit, we'll do a strategy session together. And on that strategy session, we'll give you, actionable tips and stuff like that to help you grow your business. And you can take that and run with it, or you have the option to work with us if you choose, and if we think you're a good fit to work with us. Now, with that being said, thanks again so much for tuning in. You should have a video somewhere up along the screen right here that'll take you to another video I think you may enjoy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you guys later. My name is Nick Theriot. Peace out.